go. And that should mean, yes, live once more. Hello, Matt. Hello, Armory. Welcome back. How you guys doing today? Because I will tell you right now, I am feeling a tiny bit on the tired side, but you know what? Sort of heaven and earth waits for no one. It looks like we may have a slightly frame droppy stream this time, but oh well. We'll manage. Alright. Let's jump into it. 7 Power and Glory. After the bitter parting with Sas, Saya departs for the southeast. Istra is the only rare territory in Sakai that is represented by an Ilian court. Hang on just a sec, I need to fetch my water from... put it slightly too far over. Alright. But the Burn soldiers have taken it upon themselves to torment the people with their selfishness. Narshan, the general assigned to the city, was beginning to show signs of discomfort and anxiety. Unexpectedly, Saya and the others were caught in the middle of a dark and sinister scheme. Chapter 7, Power and Glory.
Oh, this is boring. Why do I have to be in such a remote place? All this and all that, you jealous Murdoch bastard.
Lord Narshan.
What's wrong?
An army of unknown affiliation is approaching. It appears to be people from Sakai, but they don't look like they are from the Jute.
So that means an enemy attack, then? If you think about it, isn't that convenient?
Lord Narshan? What am I supposed to do?
Well, if it isn't the Count, it seems that some enemies have arrived. And I'd like to ask that your knights respond to the attack.
Yes. If this is going to become a battlefield, we have to get the people from the villages safe.
Don't worry. Just leave everything to us, the Burns army. We will take full responsibility for the protection of your people. Are we clear?
Yes. As expected, the Count of Istra is no more than a puppet.
A favorable scenario has been set for us. Time to put a plan to purge the cheeky villagers into action. Then all we have to do is place the blame on our enemies. And of course, all the credits will go straight to us. Well, give your men their orders to proceed.
Looks like Master Kashin's information was right. So far, there's no sign that the Burns army will attack us. But this is already Istra's territory. I heard that the Count is attached to Burn, so it's likely that a battle will occur soon.
I understand. The crucial moment comes now. Wait, someone's coming over here.
Female thief.
Hey, you guys. You're the ones fighting Burn, right? That's right. And you are? Please, help everyone. Wait a minute. Can you explain to me what happened? My name is Sandra. I'm from the village down the road. I overheard the Burns general talking. There's a growing discontent in the villages against Burn, and they're planning to loot the villages as some kind of purge. They're willing to burn down entire villages and kill anyone who stands in their way. Such a thing. The Count didn't try to stop him? The Count is at their mercy. He's too weak-minded to make any decisions on his own.
Sounds like a typical politician.
Please! I don't blame you if you don't trust me. But you're the only ones I can count on.
Lady Saya, what are you going to do? I don't think we should get involved in too much trouble.
Mother would never abandon a person in a crisis, even if it's against reason.
I understand. If it is Lady Saya's decision, we will follow it.
Thank you. Thanks, you. Hell.
Already the janky text. Everyone, let's make our way to the castle. Alright, as per usual, I did my preps off screen, so this is what the team is looking like going into this chapter. Unfortunately, I think we are still... Oh no, there is an armory and a shoppy here. So, we'll be able to start... So Lewis is streaming right now, but I decided to come here because I thought you needed some company. Oh, thanks, Matt. I don't know why, but I love Narshan's first line in the scene. This is boring, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's appropriate for a little shit like him, but... this is a chapter where it would be very convenient to have a Pegasus Knight who I could send over to this village and then fly over to the rest of the map, but unfortunately, Arena met a untimely end some chapters ago, so that is not happening. So yeah, I think we should be ready to, if I can remember what buttons to press. Deploy RL, and let's go. And of course, as per usual, we get a new thief. Sandra, a girl protected by the Lord of Edessa. Despite opposition, she becomes a secret agent. Secret agent girl. Alright. So yeah, I mean, she's got the stats I would expect. 3 strength on a character this late. That is embarrassing. I'm sorry. So let's see here. If I can find her. There we go. Growths are 60 HP, 35 power, 35 strength, 40 skill, 60 speed, 15 defense, 25 res, 60 luck. You have less of a speed growth than Leo, the mage. That is kind of sad, actually. Alright. You know, a realm reminds me of Malladus, Marth's tactician in Shadow Dragon. I mean, yeah, he kind of is fulfilling the same role, although, which is a little weird because, to be honest, I don't really feel like Malladus was a character who had much of a point to exist, if I'm being real. Anyways, so the game plan for this map is going to have a couple of our cavalry units go up to the right to claim that village. And then everybody else can pretty much just go over to the left and tackle the rest of the map. I think that is a pretty solid idea. Gim is probably going to be relying on hand axes to fight for a little bit, because he is in desperate need of a iron axe, another iron axe. So, let's get everybody going. I guess we can have Fromy go with these guys for a little bit, just because she's mobile enough to do that. Also, you'll miss out on a recruitable brigand only talked to by arenas, exactly same as me. So I looked at FE Builder, and apparently he... I mean, it looks like that... it looked like he could be talked to by the other character who's a part of this map, but I'm looking again, and that may just be a case of... it may just be a case of similar... of like a leftover talk event that, you know, does not exist anymore in the game, but... I suppose we'll find out soon enough. Alright. So, go here. And you can fight this guy. Not kill him even with a steel sword, but oh well. Just gives more EXP for Robbie here to take advantage of. Oh, damn. All the offensive stats. And Rick... Oh, god damn it, Rick. You can't kill from that range. I mean, it's maybe not as surprising as I thought. Oh, shoot, you're right. Guide that I have is incorrect, my bad. Oh, he can be recruited by Sergei? I was looking at the thing, and it said he could be talked to by the unit you get in this chapter, but I wasn't sure if like that was misinformation on the account of it was just a leftover talk conversation data from what this chapter was originally before it was edited. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Nope. Rostov. You can't kill, but you can do a nice miss. A nice miss. Alright. Okay. So I am actually kind of out of the... I'm actually kind of forgetting what items, what sort of weapons we're most low on. I know that we need a couple axes to give to Gim. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I think we're pretty set with swords and bows. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Anyways, grape. Okay. So, it's looking like Sagan can get kills pretty easy. And I think that's what I'm gonna have him do. Well, let's find out. I mean, the main thing is that Sagan's showing off. At least he's not kill stealing from other people when I don't want him to this time. So I think Grape, you can weaken this guy. And Yarov can kill him. Nice. And we get a hammer. It is stop hammer time. Or at least it will be relatively soon, I think. Like I said, apologies if I'm like maybe not as coherent with my commentary as usual, because like I said, I'm feeling weirdly kind of groggy and tired today. Good afternoon. Hi, Aesir. Likewise, but evening, Aesir. Yep. Time zones. Yeah. I'll be honest, guys. I am very much ready for this week to be over. Like, wasn't it an especially bad week? It kind of started off on a weird foot, but wasn't especially bad. It's just I don't know. I'm kind of feeling a little worn out lately. And I think a part of that is just I've been doing work in some form or fashion, either with these streams or whatever else. Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? To the Count's castle. I'm the one that Burns General is after. If I disappear, there will be no more of them coming to the village. The girl who was taken to the castle. What happened to her? Diana, it's not as if you didn't know, right? Excuse me. Don't worry about us. Stop trying to sell yourself out.
But...
That Narshian, or whatever he is a bottomless pit of crap. I like that description, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think for a minute that he's going to relax once he has you in his hands. Just stay here with us. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So we have... That village needs to get, got to. Let's see here. Actually, Rick, yes, I gave you the Rider's Bane. Because, well, you're not getting any kills with it, but... let's see here. Okay. Steel Lance, Silver Lance, jeez. Forgot about that. Let's see here. You're off. Is there anybody you can... it's looking like the only one he's gonna be able to double is the soldier. From me, heal. And then whomst among these two is more dangerous? Okay. I guess we'll leave the archer for Sagan to kill. And then you're off. You don't kill this guy. Great.
Oh, what the hell? What was his...
You're off just totally had a Binding Blade moment there. Okay. Let's see here. Gim. I'm trying to think about this. 'Cause I think Saya could maybe put some work in with Manikati. I mean, it's not great damage exactly. Well, Robbie's pretty stacked at this point, so I don't know. Well, Emmy. Man, these hit rates are really starting to annoy me. Skill issue, yeah. You're off missing 2 shots in a row. That is definitely what we would refer to as a skill issue. Yeah, I don't think Rick's going to be getting a kill here. But I would still like to put him up front with the Rider's Bane, just so he can deal big damage. And then take damage in return, and because he has bizarrely bad HP, you know, he's not exactly going to be doing a whole lot of tanking and danking. Rostov, I guess you can finish this guy off. Or not. Missing at inopportune times. The story of my life. Gim, go forth. As per usual, it falls to Gim to really do the hard work. I want to get rid of this pesky Silverlance user, but I don't really want to have to deal with Saya taking a big hit from them. This is annoying, actually. There's just a lot of enemies bunched up here all at once. Taking hits from all of them is going to prove remarkably tricky. I do not particularly care for this kind of level design where you have a bunch of enemies enclosed in tight spaces like this. I think it's lazy at best and can get really frustrating at worst. Sandra, you get out of the way. And Rel, follow behind at a safe distance. And now I guess we just hope that our characters don't get murdered. Oh boy, Silverlance. Oh, Rostov taking 12 damage from a Silverlance. Doesn't even get two-shot by it. That's actually kind of nice. And just... Gim deciding to show off. Yeah. Let's speed things up a little, shall we? Alright. Well, that turn went a lot better than I was expecting it to. Of course, it doesn't change the fact that there are still so many enemies here that we need to get rid of. Okay. Rick versus Silverlance. Asshole. Yeah, I think I'll go for this. I can't even. Okay, you know what? That was at the start of the turn. I'm calling a mulligan on that. Gim... You just, clean out some of these pests here. And then I think, actually, you can heavy spear this guy. Nice one. And he gets a level up. What are we getting? Strength, skill, speed, and res. Okay. You know what, Rick? You're actually kind of impressing me right now. I think I may try and keep you around. Now, as for the Silverlance Pest... Robbie, why do you gotta be one off? One off from a kill. Lol, at least Rick dodged there. Yeah, he actually did do some nice dodging. Okay, Rostov needs to get healed. And just now. Meanwhile... Emmy, I think you can Lance Reaver this guy. Level up. Strength, skill, luck, and res. Okay. She doesn't quite have the same raw stats as Gim, but she's catching up. And then Rostov, you can finish this guy off. And then Saya can come in and get a nice free kill against this Troubadour. Bingo, bango, bongo. Alright, so... heal up. Then you go here. And the Rel fall behind. And now for the right side. Sagan, I don't think you can kill this. Yeah, you can't kill this knight. I don't think any of our Skrunklies over here can. Maybe I should have used the short bow to try and fish for crits. Never mind. He just crits of his own volition. Very silly, but very funny. Actually, I don't know why I said that. Very silly, but very funny. It's kind of a redundant sentence. Alright, Yarov, what are you giving? HP and speed. Oh, more speed is nice. And Grape. Finish him off. And that's a level up, surprisingly. HP, strength, skill, speed. Nice, 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 nice. I was kind of thinking that at some point I should maybe bench one of either Grape or Rostov, but they've actually been growing pretty decently, all things considered. Just in slightly different ways. I mean, it helps that I fed that one Speed Wings to Rostov at one point. You know, Arel, I'm gonna have you go and do a little extra shopping, because I think I might be running low on a couple of lances and swords. Oops. I think I'm pretty set on everything else, but that should be everything I need. And then let's see here. What's coming up next? Well, I think first things first. We need to get this village. Visit it. My name is Sergei. I can no longer overlook Bern's tyranny and arrogance. If I may, I would like to fight alongside you. With the magic my master has taught me, let us drive away our enemies. And it's time for the best character description in this game. Sergei, former husband who stepped into the path of magic, more mature and intelligent than his past self. It's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good. And speaking of so bad, your fucking speed, my dude. Like, you actually have, you know, something resembling a magic stat. You know, 6 is not great, but it's better than what we've gotten so far. But, those bases are not particularly appealing. So, Alright, Sergei. Your growths are 75 HP, 45 magic, 20 skill, jeez. 40 speed, 30 defense, 5 res, and 50 luck. Oh, man. Like, I benched Leo for this chapter because I just could not find space for him. What do you think is the stat that is that's the most statistically significant? The best pound for pound? I think it's speed. It has sizable impacts offensively and defensively. Usually yes. The thing is that, I mean, in GBA Fire Emblem, and, like, particularly, I mean, this is more of an FE7 thing, I find that your raw power sometimes is, I mean, in general, speed is probably the best because, you know, doubling is important and dodging is important. The thing is, though, is that, like, for GBA Fire Emblem, and particularly for Fire Emblem 7, I find that your strength stat kind of matters a little bit more than your speed in some ways. But that's mostly just because, like, in Fire Emblem 7, the enemies are so weak that oftentimes even your characters, like, I remember I was doing a playthrough of, I think it was Hector Normal Mode, kind of recently, and a lot of times, if I had a character who had, you know, even something like 13 speed, they would still double most of the enemies you came across. So I feel like it, you know, GBA Fire Emblem is one of those games where being weak but fast is kind of less important than, you know, being at least a little bit strong. I'll buy a couple of heal staves. Or by a couple, I mean one. And then I guess another flux, just so we have it. And I don't think I'm gonna need anything else. We'll buy a lightning just so I have it. And yeah, I think that's how things are gonna go here. Yeah, Mr. Monk. Sergei is a weird guy. My Sergei turned out extremely good. He was pretty much immortal due to sky-high defenses. Oh. Well, I mean, you know, I mean, we can maybe see if I ever have the deployment slots to make use of him, but I don't know. His bases are not exactly looking like the most impressive things. So I guess what we can do is play the rescuing game to get Sergei a little closer to the front lines and see if he is indeed needed, if he is indeed able to recruit the brigand who's coming up. And in the meantime, Gim, bonk. Level up, and he gets HP strength. Okay, we'll take it. And then Rick roll this guy. I tried to use Sergei as my main mage, but he just didn't get anything good if I remember correctly. I mean, I can believe that. I mean, he's mostly, as with most of the units in this game, he is mostly just a casualty of shitty bases. Which, like, I mean, I don't necessarily want to be like a broken record about how bad character-based stats are in this game, but, you know, it is very noticeable. Okay. And then Robbie, I think I can just put you here. Yeah. Appreciate that. Surprisingly chill chapter so far. I get the feeling that it's gonna turn not that soon enough. I guess the main thing to do at this point is just to catch the cavalry squad up to the rest of the army. Oops. Alright, Rostov gets HP, strength, defense, and res. He's getting pretty bulky, actually. Decent amount of defense. If Rick does not end up catching up in terms of stats, then I may just have to bench him and just have Rostov do the tanking. Which would be very silly, but probably a lot more optimal than trying to use a knight. Might be a hot take, but I'm not too fond of when games overly strongly prioritize one unit type over another, or decentivize their use. In Justice and Pride, magic dominates. Here, magic sucks. Yeah. I mean, well, Justice and Pride was a weird one, because, like, it had magic flyers, but, I mean, Justice and Pride was kind of just all over the place in terms of its balance. Someone! I have received orders from His Majesty the King. General Narsian, where is he?
I do believe you're milady's.
Lord Narsian has been ordered to return to the capital. A meeting has been scheduled to discuss personal matters, and you are required.
It seems His Majesty has finally recognized my value.
So what does that mean?
Even you are boring. Listen, when you're the legitimate son of a great nobleman like me, it's only fitting that you should be the general of the entire northern region.
I see. Congratulations on this. General Narsian, I guess.
Guns, I'm leaving you in charge of the attack. Speaking of which, there was a girl in an outlying village who was reputed to be beautiful.
Leave it to me. Everything will be as Lord Narsian wishes. Narsian, you scumbag. You guys, get to work. Go and raid those rebellious villages, making it look like a bandit attack. I'll give you all 30% of the profits. Feels good to be on the strong side, man. Guys, let's go. Hey, come on, seriously? I heard it was mercenary work, but this makes me look like a bandit. If Irina hears about this, she'll be furious. Oh, what should I do? Oh, what the heck? Oh, man. Guns. Oh, and he has a Earth Steel that I could have. Well, I guess I can still steal it. But damn, that's Wyvern Lord this early. I mean, we have Sagan in the back, so it's not that much of a. It's not that dangerous, but yeah, I think that this is going to get interesting and kind of hairy pretty quick. You might say he's bringing out the big guns. Okay, then. Okay, Robbie just kills. My boy is growing up, but he's also causing me problems whenever I want to set up kills for anybody else. Although, who do I want to give this kill to, actually? It's like, Rick is probably not going to have... Yeah, he has no hit rate. Christ. This really is trying to be just an FE6 and an FE7 engine, which I don't even know why you would want to do that. I mean, FE6 has its fans. I am not one of them, unfortunately. In the meantime, getting everybody here. I already went to the shoppy shop. And I guess we can break our last 2 uses of Iron Axe on this guy. Iron Axe broke. Alright. Speaking of breaking things, down 1 more heal staff. You know, I think Narshian should have been fought later in Binding Blade, and Rorts or Arkad should have been the boss of Etruria, but knowing Rorts and Arkad are cowards. I mean, I don't know, like... I could maybe see, like, Narshian being a little bit of a later boss, because, like, he's... I guess him being, like, you know, having taken over Etruria does kind of make him... I don't know. I mean, I kind of stopped caring about a lot of the stories of, like, mainline Fire Emblem, so... I don't know if I actually have super strong opinions about that. Nice job, Rick. Rick is rolling. He's never gonna give you up. Alright, and he gets skill and speed. More speed on a knight is always nice. I will take it. And then... Monk. Wyverns. I think this is the point where we may... I don't know. I'm guessing guns only moves once you get into his range, right? That's what would make sense, at least. But, like, I'm thinking that I may have to start pulling my guys back a little bit to deal with these incoming wyverns. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to take them on super well. Yeah, I'm not killing anything with these guys. Saya, you can go here. Rick, we have some archers to bait out. And then Emmy can follow you at a safe distance. And then... back up a little bit. We'll put Sagan here with shortbow equipped. And Jiroff can, I guess go here with Iron Bow. So that way that they can back up and... Well, actually, if I do that, then the monk is just going to go right up to... right up next to Yuroff and attack him that way. Oh well. Alright. Let me just fast forward a little bit. Oh, that was a little bit of a boneheaded move on my part. Paid out, though. Alright. Man, when is Lev gonna show up, actually? Because he is taking his sweet time to actually pop up on this map. I guess while we're waiting for him, Yuroff cannot kill any of these guys. Damn. These wyverns are bulky as hell. I mean, they're wyverns, so I guess I can't really be that surprised. Yuroff's hit rates are also really dog shit against these guys. We'll go for the one that can't counter. And then Sergei, you can come in and deal the finishing blow to this one. Lev shows up on turn 11. I think guns should aggro by now. Okay. So he takes a sec to get ready before coming in for the kill. I guess that makes sense. Just a javelin. I think Rick... Oh, come on, Rick. You can do better than that. Mouse a gun. You can kindly shoot this wyvern dead. So I think you'll be the one to deal with this mage. Or monk, I should say. Oh, nice critical. Too bad I fast-forwarded through it. Rostov, you go over here and support your buddy Rick. And then I think Rick can... This guy... Steel Axe and Hand Axe. Rick just slaughters these calves. Not bad at all. I don't know which way Guns is most likely to go first. If he's going to try and move to the left or the right side of the river. So I'm going to... Well, first things first, I'm going to dump everything that Arel has into the convoy. Oop, there he goes. Let me show you the true terror of the Dragon Riders of Bern. That's quite a bit of damage, and he is almost certainly... Well, no. Actually, Rick has enough speed to avoid getting doubled. Alright. So Rick takes some hits, but he's still ticking. Man. More pesky assholes. And unfortunately, I don't have Sandra in a good position where I don't think she's going to be able to get this guy to steal. Well, first things first. Let's have her trade an axe back to Gim. So, gonna have the Lance Reaver out. Rick, you gonna need to go back this way. Rostov, form up around him. Then Helga, come in. Then actually, what turn are we on? Turn 11. So... Oh, there he is. Lev, former farmer from a cold village in Ilya. Despite his appearance, he's indecisive and petty. He's also not looking particularly great in the stats department, I can tell you that much. But, you know what? We may have to make do, regardless of that. So, I think that... Saya, I need you to start getting a little bit more out of dodge. I need someone to get up to this village on the left. Arel, you stay as far out of trouble as you can. And then Fromi, you go here so that you're less in danger. Alright. He goes for... Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, Lady Juno.
Yeah, that's a reset, because you are the only one who can take that, get that seal off of him. Don't forget to steal the Earth Seal. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, Armory. I have to get this bunghole into a position where I can do that. Let's try this formation and see how it goes. Oh, come on. Why the... Going all the way over there. Well, at least he gets doubled by Grape. If I have one complaint about playing this, it's that these enemy phases feel like they move really slowly because of no capacity to skip over things like in Hag. I don't know, if Helga took 2 shots from those weapons, she would probably explode. Okay, now for the annoying part, which is how the heckle and jekyll am I going to get guns in range of... Get Sandra into guns range without her exploding into a million pieces. I mean, it's easy enough to just... This is annoying. This is reminding me of that fucking angelic robe kerfuffle that I was in yesterday. Where, like, you have a boss with... that you could probably just delete easily, but you can't do that because you'll miss out on a stealable. So I don't want to go get that village because I think there's going to be a character who is going to join us, and I don't want to do that just yet. All right, Rick, kindly get this cav out of the way. Oh, come on. Well, at least he levels up off that. HP, speed, and luck. Okay, more speed. Alright, Gim. Thank you for being reliable, as always. Alright, Lev, you're here. We have you. For me, thank you for the level up. It's actually a pretty decent one. Alright, Sergey, talk to him.
What's wrong? Why aren't you coming?
Ugh, shut up. Dang it. Ooh.
Jeez. You don't seem like someone who has any real evil intentions. Your whole body is filled with hesitation. So, this is your first battle, huh?
Yes, that's right. I heard that the employer was a great nobleman of Bern. I thought it would be a decent mercenary group, but it turned out to be a group of bloodless bandits. So if you're gonna kill me, just do it.
Ah! Stand up. If you don't have bad intentions, then use that power for what's right. I'm new here, but I can convince them to hire you.
Gosh, I'm saved. Ooh. Okay. That was an interesting recruit conversation. Alright, Lev. Let's see what your growths are. You are somewhere here. 90% HP, 70 power, 15 skill. Oh god. 40 speed, 20 defense, 10 res, 45 luck. What the fuck is with this character? Like, I mean, 70 strength is nice, but, you know, we already have Gim, and he has better skill and everything else to boot. Okay. The unit design in this hack is driving me berserk. I'm gonna be real. It's just so bad. These characters feel so dogshit to use. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to block guns from moving. And hopefully that will convince him to go after somebody who can take a hit from him. I don't think I missed out much from not getting him. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, so many of these units are just so trash. Alright. Guns. Yeah, nice shot, mister. Helga gets a level up off that. HP, skill, speed, and res. Still no magic, but what can you do? And here come the enemies again. God, this is getting annoying. Alright, Sandra. I wanted Yuroff to get this kill, but it's looking more like he's going to have to forgo it in favor of taking this shot. And steal the Earth Seal. And then, Sagan, you can finish the job here. Nice crit. Gah! At a place like this. Get out of here. And level up. Sagan gets HP and speed. Okay, we'll take speed. We will always take more speed. And then Grape, you can go up to this village and visit it.
Please, take me with you. I've been noticed by the General of Bern, and if I don't go with him, the people of the village will be in trouble. I know how to use a spear. I won't be a burden to you, so please let me come with you.
And we get Diana. She is a soldier. Silver-haired woman who uses a spear, aspires to become a strong woman. Predictably mediocre bases, but if we go to her growths, we find... After I locate her. Oh, this character list is a mess. Diana. 55 HP, 40 strength, 55 skill, 65 speed, 20 defense, 25 res, 50 luck. Those are not bad growths. Those are not bad growths at all. I don't know if I'll have a space on my team for her, but part of me does want to see if I could try making use of this. Because that does seem like a decent growth spread. In the meantime, Rick, you go over here and bait those archers out. Sergey. Okay. Rostov, I believe you deserve to take a turn at the arena. 920. We'll see how this goes. I think we might have a shot at winning this. They don't completely massacre me, and I think we've got this, assuming Rostov hits this last one. Not bad. To be honest, I've kind of really grown to loathe arenas. HP and strength. Okay, we'll take that. To be honest, I've kind of grown to really loathe arenas after, throughout my years, because, like, repeated playtesting for, various ROM hacks, like, and particularly in the Sacred Stones, because, like, I swear to God that Sacred Stones just, when you're playing on hard, the arena just does not play fair. I've done it, I've playtested it across, like, multiple ROM hacks, you know, a couple different playthroughs of Sacred Stones, and I swear that the arena, once you get on hard mode, just gives you battles that are basically impossible to win without intense save states coming. I cannot stand it, honestly. Diana is a unit I sort of should have used over another soldier you get. Just seemed to have good growth, but obviously I overlooked her. I don't know, like, I'll be honest, I'm not super fond of soldiers and halberdiers at the best of times. Like, I mean, if I compare Diana to the... Oh, Jesus. If I compare Diana to the Rick that I've trained, you know, at this moment, she kind of feels like Rick is just doing everything better than her. Like, yes, he has the obvious knight problem of bad movement, but like every other one of his stats is so much better than any of hers. So it's like he's doubling these archers, you know, with what, 10 speed? Like for a knight, that's impressive actually. So I don't know. Like there's a part of me that wants to use her just for the novelty, but I just don't feel like I have the space on my team, and just does not feel like she'd be worth it at all. You're off. Why are you not one-shotting these wyverns? I am starting to think that trying to make use of you past your first couple of chapters was a mistake. Because Sagan is really just kind of doing your job for you. We can have Diana visit this village.
We farmers are just being taken advantage of by the aristocracy. We will give you this money. Even if we try to hide it, it will eventually be confiscated.
3,000 gold. Alright. That is appreciated. And then... I guess we'll have Saya over here just so that we can inevitably get her caught up back to the rest of the army. Lev, I am not going to use you, but you can take this kill against this, Oh. He heard me say... He heard me say that I wasn't going to use him, and his response was to do the brigand scream. That's funny. me... Okay, you're not quite ready for a level up. Gim, you're going to have to fight this wyvern. I think you're the one who does the best job against him. Robbie, you fight the mage. And then Rostov. You can't kill, but oh well. That just means Sergei can come in. I mean, he's doing enough damage to get these kills, you know. That is something, if nothing else. B. From me. Then, who has a minor dent that I can iron out? Rostov. And I think that's going to be it for that. Nice job, Rick. Okay, these enemy reinforcements are getting a little tiresome. Lev, knock this tree down. And then in comes Saya with the steel sword. It's like a wrestling thing, except, you know, steel sword instead of steel chair. Don't question it. Grape. You're off. So, Sergei can't even double this soldier here. That's a little embarrassing. Emmy, you go. Guess you're not getting this kill, but that didn't even give you a level up. Unfortunate. Oh well. Rick appreciates the extra experience. Alright, now for the interesting part. Robbie, I think I'm going to have you go to the arena. Fight a Myrmidon. Joy. Oh, you got doubled.
Not yet, not yet. I can still... Fuck.
That is not a turn I particularly wanted to have to reset. Probably should have done things a little differently there. Like, for example, just having you nuke this fighter outright. And then Saya, you go here. Rostov, you really don't need to do all that much. Okay, that's a little bit better. Alright. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another save state. And Sergei can go to the arena. Try and get a little experience of his own. A nice round of happy slaps with that mage. Speaking of which, mainline Fire Emblem didn't give us a monster unit, mainly because they usually align with a demonic entity like Mortis or a god like Duma's demons. Really hope we get a great monster unit in the future to rehabilitate their image, kind of like Gonzalez did for Brigands and the Binding Blade. I mean, I remember that I had a couple of, like... I mean, they weren't necessarily... Like, I had a couple of monster units planned out for Black Dragon Beginnings, but I ended up not finishing that project, so... I guess we'll never know just how... I mean, the monster unit I had was essentially the est of the game, and she was really fun to use.
Those Burns soldiers, you haven't done anything to them. Damn it, I'll give you this, and you please do something about it.
We get Nosferatu. Okay. I think Robbie can take that. Nosferatu is not the most amazing of spells in GBA Fire Emblem, but it's also not bad. Now, as for dealing with the boss, I think Saya deserves the kill. Or at the very least to do some damage. Oh, you have a freaking killer axe. Killer lance. Damn. So I guess Saya's going to stay there so that we're not dealing with killer weapons, because after the stream on Wednesday, I am very tired of dealing with killer weapons. Alright, Sergey. If you'd be so kind as to get a nice level up for me. HP, skill, speed, and luck. Okay, that's decent. That's decent. I don't know if that's enough to save you from the bench, but, you know, that is something. Alright. I think I'll just end turn. You people! I'm not letting you go through here. In my next romhack, if I ever start it, I plan to have at least one monster unit for fun. I mean, that would be a cool idea. You know, I would certainly like to see that. Now Gim. We'll have you get Chippy XP. Yep. And you get HP, skill, and speed. Alright. That is good. And then Saya come in with Manikati. Oh. Just straight up crits. Lord Narcian, forgive me. Get owned. Almost a full 100. Skill, speed, and res. About what I expect. We'll take it. She's at 17 speed. Damn, that's pretty beastly. And now for the portion of the chapter that I like to call Grinding at the Arena. For the heck of it. Sergey, you get off. Rick, I'll have to get you back over here. And then we do a quick save. And then Emmy comes in to fight against another mercenary. Nice round of happy slaps gets us HP and strength. More strength is appreciated. Alright. She also... A rank. A rank swords already. I grew up so fast. Helga. Sarah. Yes. Alright, Robbie. Nice. Magic, skill, speed, and luck. He is becoming quite the offensive powerhouse. I could get over here. And then next up on the chopping block, I guess we'll have Sagan go a round or two at the arena. Ooh, this may be a little tricksy. Oh, you get doubled. Nope. Where's my last save state? I didn't... Yep. Shit. Oh well. At least we know this is going to be a success. Yep. Having to redo turns over because of arena fails. In reality, I should probably pay attention to like the amount of gold being wagered at the arena, but I am a little too unga bunga for that particular strategy. Okay, this time it's a Valkyrie. Will Sagan get doubled again like a total Doyle? Yes. Oh, wow. He still won in spite of that. That's nice. Alright. Sagan, you get one more shot. The arena, I think that'll be enough to get you to level up. This is gonna take forever. Alright. That's not quite a level up, but it's close. And hey, it gives our healers more chances to level up. Apologies for subjecting you to this, but you know, this is kind of just how I play Fire Emblem, honestly. I am not above grinding. HP and skill. Okay, I'll take that. Alright, Fromy gets HP, skill, and speed. Alright, Sagan, get out of the way. And let's give Rick his turn. Cavalier with Iron Sword. Alright, this seems like it should be a decent layup. Yep. We're almost done, I promise. Just got to get one more. Oh, nice crit. Alright, luck, speed and luck. We'll take that. And I believe that is everything on this map, so let's get out of here. Please help me!
If you don't resist, then I won't have to be rough with you. I'll have you stay in the back room and be quiet. That was the lord of this place? I didn't feel any trace of noble dignity.
He seems to be a weak-minded one. Perhaps that's where the Burns army took advantage of. Well, I think it's time for some answers. Sandra, which hand do you belong to?
Which hand?
Arel.
Arel, she's just a kid. I don't see how a mere child could eavesdrop on a general. That is...
Be honest with me. We heard your request, so it's only fair that we ask the same.
I understand. I am a secret spy sent by the Knights of Ilia. A spy? A child like you? I'm not much older than you, and I volunteered. Ilya is now in a state of civil war under pressure from Byrne. My lord is the one who's organizing the forces against them. I'm here to find out more about the inner workings of the Byrne's army.
And maybe it wasn't a good idea for us to have come here.
I simply could not stand silently and watch as innocent people were killed.
So it was that. What are you going to do now?
I'd like to stick with you guys if I can. Forming an alliance with the Knights of Ilya shouldn't be too bad of a deal for you guys.
Are you going to tell your country what we're up to?
No, I would never do something so ungrateful. I know it doesn't make any sense, but you're going to have to trust me on this one. I believe in you. You weren't lying when you came running to us for help. We also want to know more about Byrne. Let's cooperate and fight together.
Kutar Ruins.
Where?
It seems you're awake, Lorca's Chief Lindis.
You are. What? Why are there brackets around that? You are a morph, right? Why? You guys were 20 years ago.
You can talk about our story with my lord. Lord Xenon is here to see you. It has been a long time, Lindis.
You are... Do you know me? You're a morph too.
That time it wasn't in brackets.
What on earth do you want?
I am the last survivor of the morphs created by Master Nergal. After Master Nergal's death, I took over the study of magic and rebuilt the Morphic Legion. And all that in order to bring Master Nergal, our creator, back to this world.
Bring it back? Such a thing...
It can be done, if we use the power of the ancient dragons. But that was a little bit of a weird hiccup with the text box. But before that, there's a task I really wanted to complete. Vengeance on all of you who have taken Master Nergal's life.
Then hurry up and kill me. That's right, I was the one who killed your master. I'm ready.
As tempting as it sounds, I must refuse. You see, I was going to, but then I changed my mind. It appears your daughter is coming after us.
What? Saya?
The love between a parent and a child must be a very deep and strong thing. So, rather than just simply killing you, I came up with a more brilliant and delightful revenge. Lindis, you shall become a pawn for my entertainment.
Saya, don't come. These guys are dangerous.
And Lind gets knocked out again. They are really doing her dirty in this story. In the mainline FE games, it's pretty widely agreed Grima was the most powerful villain seen so far. Out of all the hacks you played, who do you think was the strongest villain? Out of all I played, it would probably go to Maximilian from Dark Lord and Maiden of Light, maybe. I'm not sure. I've actually not sampled quite that many ROM hacks in comparison to some other people. Like, I've played a decent amount, but there's a lot that I either haven't played or haven't finished. I don't know. Like, Maximilian's definitely up there. I think the one who I would say is probably the overall strongest for me might have been Kalia from Justice and Pride. Mostly just because she's a dragon. But Maximilian is definitely a tougher boss fight in a lot of ways, so... Anyways, moving on. Beyond the territory of the Count of Istra, the group goes further south. As they get closer to the Burns territory, the enemy's defenses grow stronger. In front of them, the impregnable Fort Clark stands in the way. Things seemed to be going smoothly, but Arel's fears were about to become a reality. This next map, I think, is... probably could take a little bit, but we shall see. Chapter 8, Garden of War.
This is Fort Clark. It looks pretty formidable. I wonder if there's a sister fort named Fort Kent.
Maybe it's definitely possible for Kent to to have distinguished himself in the last war, and then this could be he could have a sister fort to this. So we'd have Fort Clark and Fort Kent. Indeed, and a difficult place to fight on our own. If we can just get past this point, the ruins we're after will be right under our noses.
Haven't the reinforcements from the Dolphin tribe arrived yet?
Not even the messenger shows any sign of coming. This is strange.
I wonder if the restoration of Bulgar is proving more difficult than I thought. I hope they haven't been attacked by the enemy again. The enemy!
I doubt it. If there was going to be an attack, I'm sure we'd be the first to be attacked.
In any case, we don't have time to spare waiting for them. The battle shouldn't be unwinnable. Let's just make it a short and quick battle.
I certainly hope so. Hey, the reinforcements haven't arrived yet.
I sent a messenger with a fast horse. They should be arriving any minute now.
Damn it, the enemy is already closing in. Till then, we'll have to hold them off. What happened to that mercenary Boris, or whatever his name was?
Boris? I think he's going to see the prisoners in the jail again.
Gah, that's why he's still a mercenary. Tell him to get his ass in position now. Fort Clark is reputed to be impregnable. Don't let that honor be tainted. Alright. I guess it's time for us to impregnate the impregnable fortress. That sounds so wrong when I say it out loud. Okay. I mean, Sandra, you and Ewing are pretty comparable in stats, honestly. I think Ewing has a little more defense compared to Sandra having a little more skill in res. So, I don't know. I think I'll just stick with Ewing for now. So, Sandra, you can just give all your shit to the convoy. Lev, you're not getting used. You're not getting used. Sergey! 666 versus, where is Leo? Versus this. Sergey, I don't know. Like, yeah, he really just does not seem like he's worth it. The question now is who to leave behind. I think Rostov can take a break, and we'll bring Ewing out. And then Sergey, I guess we'll just... I know there's a pre-promoted Sage who will be joining us at some point. But I don't know how good she's necessarily going to be against these other people. Yurov, you've been a little disappointing lately, especially with that garbage skill stat. So I think I may actually drop you in favor of bringing Sergey out. So, give all your shit to the convoy. And then Sergey, you have the run of the tomes here. Fires and thunders, and an air caliber that you can't use yet, but probably won't take you too long. Rick. Let's see here. I think it was either the evil Quigia from Tales of KOTOR or Forbin from Embers Entwined. I mean, I haven't played Call of the Armor or Tales from KOTOR. I think I made mine the most powerful because when I tested the final boss, it really felt like I'm being set up for either complaints or compliments, so I'm improving. I remember how hard Siegfried was in The Last Promise. Funny you mentioned that, Matt. Siegfried is tough if you fight him normally, but he's real easy to cheese if you just triangle attack him with the three Pegasisters. Okay. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of cavalry in this map. There's a couple of knights. And this guy's a pesky silent staff. We don't have any restores yet. Blah. Okay. So I think what we are going to do... No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, Rick, you can put the... I guess we'll keep the heavy spear on you, just for the heck of it. Sergey, take out an extra vuln. And then, you mean... Okay, that looks good, that looks good. Robbie, you get one extra flux and a Nosferatu out. Emmy, you're good. Helga, you're good. Gim, I think that's a good setup for you. Sagan, I'll give you an extra vulnerary just for the heck of it. Saya, trying to think. I think that looks good. Rostov. I don't know, Rostov would be good to have, I think, but I just can't think of... I just cannot be arsed to drop anybody. So, anyways. Let's get everyone set up. I think that looks good. Rick is probably going to be trailing behind a bit, so... I think we'll actually move him up here. Right. And then save. And let's get going. Deploy Rel. Boris. Hey, how long are you planning on slacking off? The enemy is coming. I think you should go. I know. Father, I'm giving you this. This is a salve for wounds. Why? The next attack is going to be nasty. Just a hunch. If something goes wrong, use this to stay alive. Thank you very much. But is it safe for you to do this? Don't worry about it. Just a token of gratitude. Thanks to you, I got the chance to talk to a good person. Even with all the annoying noise over there.
Well, excuse me. I just can't hold back the urge to dance.
If I'm still alive, I'll see you again. See ya!
Hey, Father. What's going to happen to us?
Everything is as Elamine wills it. Let's just be quiet for now. Alright, so... those two start as blue units, so that's nice. Guess we can talk about them. Simon has no tomes starting out, but those are okay bases, all things considered. Like, I mean, pretty comparable to what Sergei had, and except with better speed. I was wondering in lore rather than stat rise. Siegfried wasn't really a villain, to be honest. I think the only two villains that hack were Lahar and Lewis, and maybe Ad Keelik's brother, Leon. I mean, I would argue that Last Promise kind of had a few too many, like, main villains going on, because, like, there were some villains who really did not need to be a thing in that. Mostly, I think Phoenix was his name, the weird guy who, showed up at one point to knock Keelik on his ass. Simon, a monk from the Elamine Church, believes in peace and preaches the teachings of God. I'm reading his description from Effie Builder for the curious. Okay, so his growths are 65 HP, 40 power, 60 skill, 40 speed, 10 defense, 30 res, and 45 luck. I'm torn, I really am, because I could see myself using this unit. I could see myself using this unit, but I just don't know if I have the space to use him. Like, because he does seem like he's decent in terms of growth rates, and his stats are not as terrible as some of the other mages we've had, but I just don't know if I have the capacity to. And then Camila, a determined traveling dancer. Dancing is her greatest joy. I mean, those stats are worse than, are worse than everyone else's, but, like, are they really that low compared to the rest of the cast? Her growths are 90 HP, 20 strength, 20 skill, 60 speed, 25 defense, 30 res, and 85 luck. She's about what I expect. Dancer out of 10. Will have a spot on the team regardless, because dancers just are worth it. They just are worth it. And now it's time for get everyone moving. These kind of maps where you start far away from the enemy are not my favorites, but I also don't dislike them particularly. Hand axe, hand axe. So, Sagan, let's say you do a little pro bono enemy busting. And I guess we can also start grinding for experience with Camilla and Simon. Give Camilla a little extra experience on the side from dancing. Oh, these guys don't move. Huh. Or I guess they're programmed not to move, just if you're in their range. Okay. Meanwhile... Axe Reaver. Okay. That Axe Reaver means that I can just put Grape here. Ironically enough, Phoenix didn't get any narrative closure. After his defeat on the Sig Death chapter, he was berated by Lahar and never seen again. No, because he is the boss of one chapter after that. Although I'm trying to remember, is that a chapter that you could potentially miss him on? Because I do remember that he had a boss fight in a later chapter. I just can't remember if it was, like, a defense map where killing him was optional. I don't know. I mean, Last Promise made some weird decisions with, like, how it paced its story out, but... Alright. Get owned. Oh boy. Dug-in enemies, my favorite kind. Steel Axe, Steel Lance, and Javelin. I think we're just gonna go in guns a-blazing. I don't really see much of a reason not to. As for who gets the experience from this soldier, I believe that will be Saya. And she gets HP and luck. And then Helga, you can get a level up from healing Saya. She gets magic, yay! And a few other stats too, that's nice. Alright. Oops. One more turn in the books. And now everybody starts moving. Ouch. These enemies are making some interesting choice of targets in terms of who they choose to go after. Nah, Phoenix just vanishes and isn't seen again after that. Didn't he only get one boss chapter? It was that Fog of War Nighttime chapter. Narratively, he was useless as hell. Could have been completely replaced by Leon without altering the story. Yeah, I think that the battle between him and Keelik should have been between Keelik and Leon. But it wasn't, and he was pretty narratively useless. But he does have, yeah, he does have that one last boss fight in that one chapter, which I think is the only time you ever see him again. Last Promise's story is not particularly well written, which apparently the guy who made it was, like, only 14 at the time he started working on it, so I can't be too surprised, but, you know. It is very noticeable that he was young. Alright. It doesn't really look like there's a whole lot to say about this map, honestly. Like there's gonna be one more unit we'll get, but eventually, but aside from that, oh, that was a short bow. It's playing with fire a little bit, because that could have crit me, and that would have been really unfortunate. Sergey, we'll give you this fighter to eat. Chest key obtained. I mean, Ewan has enough lockpick uses to go around, which, thank God, that's another thing I drives me nuts about some of the Fire Emblem GBA games. Well, more so Sacred Stones than anything else, is that sometimes they can be real stingy with lockpicks. Thieves who I already don't like using become infinitely more irritating to use when they're constantly running out of lockpick uses. Gim, you go here, and we can hit this knight with a stop hammer time. From me, you'll just heal up Sergey. I mean, it's nice that they're letting me grind up my dancer, but, you know, is that really something I want to be doing right now? Not particularly. Nice shot, Gim. And then we have 2 shamans here. Uh-oh. We may have a problem. We may have a problem. We definitely have a problem. I cannot die yet. Everyone, I'm sorry. I was hoping we didn't have to reset for that. Damn. Yeah, just keep obtained. There's some silly shit going on with people missing one and then hitting another. One shot and hitting another. It was so unbelievably edgy, I loved it. I mean, like, Last Promise is weird for me because, like, I can see the potential for a really interesting story in it, but I don't know, it just kind of felt like the story just did not know what it wanted to do, is my issue. And it's weird, like, I mean, romhacks tend to be, like, hit and miss with, you know, the quality of their stories, because obviously the people who are writing them aren't exactly professionals, but, like, the thing is that at times it can sometimes feel like the Fire Emblem storytelling has a little bit of a low bar, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the take that all Fire Emblems, all of the mainline Fire Emblems have bad stories except for, like, Genealogy and Thracia. I think that there are some that overall have more good in them than bad. But I do feel like a lot of them tend to work better in terms of, like, pieces and moments than as a whole. You know, Sacred Stones has a lot of really great moments, but, like, as a whole, I don't think it's terribly great. I think 7 is actually one of the ones that I think has, you know, more good moments than bad. Free Flux Tome that I do not need because I bought a whole bunch already. I mean, personally, I'm also just somebody who really loves to, like, look at the potential of look at stuff that, like, has potential, but doesn't quite reach it, and then see if I can, like, find ways to make it better. Which is kind of like a weird little tick of mine. Oh, wow, Ewing. Nice crit. Skill and speed. I'll go on healing duty once more. Oops. Who is the other one who... Oh, it's Sergei. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, storytelling in Fire Emblem is kind of... It's actually kind of tricky to do because the way that cutscenes are, you know, composed means that there's only so much you can really do. And, like, even world building can sometimes be a little bit more tricky than it is in, like, other JRPGs because you can't necessarily explore physical spaces as much. And that's one of the reasons why, even though I agree that hub worlds in Fire Emblem tend to, like, not be the best from, like, a gameplay perspective, it's why I still like them, because I do like having, you know, an actual physical space that you can explore. It's just that I think that hub worlds should be, you know, either comparatively small, like, you know, I mean, Hagen White is kind of not the best comparison because fan game, but, you know, the idea there is that, you know, Hagen White's base camp is small enough that you can reasonably expect to get everything you need to do done in it in a pretty short amount of time. Get him up front. Conk on the head. You're dead. Grape. Got a few people who are in need of assistance. Sergei, you are not getting kills right away. That rhymed. I did not mean for it to. Alright, Grape gets HP, skill, and speed. Nice. That is acceptable. Oops, did not mean to turn cap lock on. Robbie, you've been a real champ up to this point. Could you knock these guys out? One round? You can! Unfortunately, that puts you at low HP, meaning that... Okay, this is going to get annoying in a hurry. Sagan can't kill these archers here right away. Helga's out of danger. I think Robbie's the more important heal target. Right, Sagan, come in. Oh, so close. Fishing for crits. And we get one. And to think that there was a time where I did not want Sagan to crit. That time has passed. My castle is the best hub world in Fire Emblem, and I won't take any other answer. Honestly, I feel like it's a problem with modern storytelling. Sometimes they don't have much focus. I've seen video essays on how Has-Been Hotel has pretty bad storytelling. But then again, the other two kinds are other two are kind of mid. I mean, my castle, I think my castle is, just sizable enough that, like, it has a lot of stuff for you to do, but, again, it is very concisely designed. I mean, Has-Been Hotel, like, Has-Been Hotel, like, I'm a fan of Vivzy Pops, and, like, a lot of the discourse surrounding her and her shows is just really tiresome to me. Like, the thing is that Viv, I think, it's tough because I think that Viv does have, like, Viv's works do legitimately have some pretty good humor in them. I think that, there are issues, obviously, sometimes where she prioritizes, jokes over, like, she prioritizes certain jokes without thinking, and, like, it does, like, it can cause some weirdness to happen, like the one gag with Serpentius being dragged off, in the sex club, but, like, I think that Viv is, Viv's comedy is legitimately usually pretty on point. It's just that she has some stumbling blocks around, like, actual character writing. And, like, it's frustrating because, like, I'm usually, like, Hell of a Boss, I think, is largely better with its storytelling than Has-Been Hotel is. And, like, it sucks because a lot of the discourse surrounding Vivian Medrano and her work is just so toxic to the point that, like, it honestly ruins my ability to watch her shows. But, like, I think that Viv, like, she has her moments as a writer. It's just that I wish that, she thought certain elements of, like, long-term storytelling out more. Like, Has-Been Hotel was a fun watch, but it was definitely a very messy story for me. Got a silver lance. Don't know how I didn't spot that. I always remember the tabletop RPG episode from If the Emperor Had a TTS Device, featuring a Northscan Reaver called Urban the Hagflayer as a parody of the Murder Hope archetype in tabletop RPGs. Urban the Hagflayer versus the Pate the Hag in White. I mean, Murder... I don't play tabletop RPGs. I feel like I should be more into D&D than I am, but I don't know. It just never was... I just never had the time to, like, really sit down with it. Alright, Rick. Strength. Well, you needed more of that, so I will take it. Sergey. Gets a nice level up. HP, speed, and luck. Well, he's getting speed. Can't complain there. Elixir obtained. I want the chess key. Oh, it's a 5-use chess key. That's nice. Might save us a little bit of time when it comes to getting the chests. Steel blade, steel blade. Steel blade, steel blade. These guys are gonna get slowed down to filth. Looks like. Yeah, minus 5 speed. Gim, go forth. Grape, go forth. Me. Sagan. Just playing catch up with everybody. Ba 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 ba. Damn, they're tougher than I thought. Just in case, I should kill the prisoners. Hey, someone, get rid of those two in the jail.
Oop. Reinforcements from behind? At this rate, we'll be pinned down. We need to do something fast.
Don't worry, Saya. We're in no danger. Those calves behind us are nowhere near us. I agree with HH and with Has Been Hotel and Hell Boss Discourse being tiring, and I'm not even a fan. I unironically have fun with the Has Been Hotel power scaling. I'm not much of a power scaler guy, but, like, for me, like, Has Been Hotel was, like, you know, you watch it for the animation, you watch it for the songs, and, you know, for me, that was enough. It's just that, like, it's, you know, it's kind of a mess, as, like, an actual story, which is unfortunate, because I do think that Vivzy Pop has it in her to write, you know, really compelling stories. It's just that... And like, her... It sucks because I think that her whole situation is a good example of why I don't necessarily put stock in the idea that just because somebody's being an asshole doesn't necessarily mean that their criticism is invalid. Because, like, so much of the criticism towards Vivzy Pop, I feel like, has just, like, this real nasty undercurrent to it of, like... And it's not entirely undeserved, because, like, you know, she can sometimes, like, from what I've been told, she can sometimes be a little, like, up her ass when responding to criticism. But, like, as someone who is a creative myself, like, I get that, you know, and I can sympathize, because, like, when everybody is shouting at you that your work is shit, you know, the instinct is not necessarily to want to improve. It's, like, to bury your head in further, you know. That happened to me when I first started posting my ROM hacks to the FE Universe forums, and, like, thank God that community has, like, simmered down a bit, seemingly, in recent years, because like, I don't know if I could, like, continue making, like, I was scared to post anything to that forum for the longest time, just because of that initial bad experience. And the thing is that, like, there's a lot of times where, you know, like, you can say that, you know, somebody being an asshole does not make their criticism, invalid. Oh, nice crit grape. But the thing is that when you have so much shouty criticism, like, obviously, for one, it disincentivizes you to want to, like, listen to good criticism a lot of the times, because you kind of end up associating negative criticism with people being assholes. But also, it's pretty well known that a lot of times the shoutiest criticism is also tends to be the most bad faith. Like, I mean, we see that with, like, all of these fucking right-wing grifters who, you know, make their money off of, like, yelling about culture war bullshit. You know, and it, like, some of them are true believers, some of them are just in it, you know, to collect that paycheck, but it's one of those things where, like, it kind of trains you to, like, not pay attention to any criticism. Like, that kind of happened to me with the Star Wars sequel trilogy, where so much of the noise around that movie was just people being shouty and assholes that I just could not... that now I'm allergic to actual criticism to it, because I associate it with a lot of, like, the genuine misogyny that was hurled at a lot of the actresses of those movies.
Wait, that's kind of bad. What should we do?
Get behind me and stay hidden. Oh dear, Elamine, please be merciful. Oh jeez, 6 mages all at once. That's one a hell of a squad behind us. Alright. How are a bunch of calves going to place the prisoners in danger in the position they are now? Simon more like Lucius 2.0. Well, not, Let's see. The FEU community seems to be doing okay at the moment. I guess without having that annoying egg in the general picture, things have mellowed out. Yeah, and I remember that Twitter post I made, the one about the tearing the guy named the Wildfire under a new one. Yeah, I mean, you were a little late to that situation, Matt. But yeah, I mean, how active was Mangs on FE Universe? Because like I know that he's been kicked to the curb now, but I have to wonder like how much, because I mean there was a lot of I don't even really know what to say about my time on FE Universe that I haven't at this point, but like I mean, and the thing is that like the current Darius the Conqueror project thread has actually not gotten that much in the way of like attention, I feel. So to some extent that may also be a factor as to why you know, it's not proving controversial with the people there. Okay, thank you, Robbie, for getting magic. But like I don't know, because I mean, I will admit I was not really present on Twitter for like the whole Mangs situation, and for what it's worth, like honestly, even if I had been, I can guarantee you I would have been you know, I would have been eager to kick that guy to the curb, because I detested Mangs long before it was revealed that he was a predator. Like, you go back to some of his old videos, and it is very clear that that man has no respect for any opinions that do not align with his own. Who's that? Had his team post a couple of projects as a result. Oh, so yeah, Aesir, the Wildfighter was this guy who was part of the community. He would show up for streams that my friend Lewis did, and from what I'm told, he was a really annoying guy who like just did not have any like social skills whatsoever, and he would be a constant bell end. But like when I started showing off the initial version of Black Dragon, he dropped by my YouTube channel and he left a comment on one of the showcase videos that was really rude, and like it was also just completely incoherent. Like that man did not know how to give criticism, and it was like a complete clusterfuck. But yeah, when at some point, like, I was already so pissed off from like the FEU situation that I actually made a call-out post on my Twitter, and Lewis saw that and he chewed the Wildfighter out, and it was so bad that that Wildfighter like apparently just vanished from the internet not long after. Like, it was actually kind of funny, but like he had been a bell end for a while. Had his team post a couple of projects there, if I recall. There's rules of his name not even being allowed to be mentioned. Yep, and most of his community members also got banned there too. Yeah, I mean, frankly, Mangs deserves it. Like, saying this right now, I will never play Onderon Saga or Rebellion Saga on this channel. Like, I am very much draw the line of like, because and it's weird because like, you know, when it comes to ROM hacks, these are obviously fan works, and nobody's allowed to profit from them. But like my general ethics are that if a problematic person can benefit in some way from me consuming their work, then I am not going to show it off at all. You know, that is my hardline stance. You know, I stopped giving a shit about Harry Potter after J.K. Rowling came out, and it sucks because like I liked Harry Potter, but I didn't like it enough to necessarily like want to. Oh shit, that would be a problem. But yeah, like, I don't know. And like, Onderon Saga is a weird case where, like, I have actually watched some videos of people playing through it, and I am a little conflicted because on the one hand, like, I don't know if I would necessarily enjoy playing it, but like when it comes to, as I said, when it comes to, but like when it comes to the story of that hack, you know, I actually was enjoying a lot of the writing and the characterization, but at the same time I look at it and I'm just like, you know, the only reason that this looks as good as it does is because it's a vanity project of a deeply problematic person who still somehow has a fan base, you know, despite doing some really heinous shit. You know, it's just so weird when that happens. Like, everyone has different philosophies about what you should do when, you know, when it comes to, like, experiencing the work of problematic people. My general stance is that, you know, it's usually best just to not let them profit from it. Like, if they, you know, if they're somebody who's dead, then it's one thing, because, like, they can't gain anything from the work anymore. But, you know, if they're still alive, it's probably best to, you know, just not bother with it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Yep. Mangs, to me, seems to have changed his ways, but if people don't want to watch him again, then it's understandable. Harry Pothead and the Philosopher's Stone. I mean, if Mangs has changed, it's good, but, like, there are some crimes that I really think that are just kind of not excusable, and, you know, being a sex pest is one of those things where, like, if a person was that at one point, they're pretty likely to, you know, do it again, and it's hard to think that, you know, them saying that they'll change means anything other than they'll just try harder to not get caught next time. I mean, it's tricky business, because, like, you know, some people do honestly, like, try and make the effort. Okay, Simon, you have just enough HP that I think I can get over to you and take you out. And these mages just get owned by Robbie. Alright. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, thank you so much for your help. There is someone I would very much like to help. I need to speak to a swordsman named Boris. Alright, Simon, we will get you over there to talk to him as soon as possible. I'm actually trying to think, because, yeah, he only oversaw the broader direction of the project's writing. From what I hear, it was a team in his community that made most of it. I don't advocate for harassment because no one deserves to be abused like that. No, I mean, like, even when it comes to, like, shitty people, you know, it really is best to kind of just, like, not engage with them. I mean, the thing is with Onderon Saga is, with Onderon and Rebellion Saga, you know, it was always a little ambiguous to me just how much, you know, actual creative input he had on it. But, like, as far as I'm concerned, you know, even the littlest bit is kind of too much for me, personally. Okay. Now then. This is actually a little tricky. Like, I mean, obviously Rick does keep, will be good at keeping Boris at bay here. Okay. Actually, do I have any characters who can make use of... Yes. The Rider's Bane only has 2 uses, so... I mean, Grape is not exactly going to get a ton of use out of it, but, like, he can do something with it. Ba-ba-ba. Wait a minute, a breakable wall by the chest? On a lighter note, whenever I think of the name Boris, I just think of Caillou's dad. Okay, that's an interesting comparison to make. Yeah, that breakable wall is so that this thief can come in and get the chest contents. So let's see here. Alright, we're going to have Rick up front. Camilla, thank you. Wondering if I could get some, wondering if I could get the light tome that we got last chapter out. Ayo, Rubby Dubby! That is a nice level up. Real nice. Meanwhile, Gim, you can just casually delete this guy. Probably have to deal with a few other mages coming after you, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. You know what's gone? I don't really think Yeah, I don't really think I need to worry too much about killing that thief. Alright, Boris. Alright. Gim escapes death. Okay. Saya, you deal with one of these calves. Nice crit. And then Grape, you deal with the other one. Or do big damage, at least. And Sergei gets the kill. This boss, well, he's pretty understated, but other than that, he is, you know, a sage, so still decently dangerous. Okay, let's think here. Alright, Simon. Get this guy. Boris! So I guess that means you're safe. And the reason lies with these people. Please lay down you weapon. It's not too late. You're right. If you've been saved, then there's no point in sticking with them any longer. Boris here, we'll take your word for it. Alright, Boris. So, I mean, those are okay bases. I think Pascal actually has 12 speed, so slightly better than him. His growths are 70 HP, 40 power, 45 skill, 50 speed, 30 defense, 15 res, and 40 luck. I mean, good enough growths, but that's kind of not what I'm looking for at this point. And honestly, I don't really like Myrmidons and Swordmasters in GBA that much. Like, outside of Rooker, they're really just kind of mid. And then Sagan, you deal with the thief over here. Omelette du fromage. And as for Rebellion Saga, I haven't bothered to touch that one at all yet. My headcanon is that Phoenix from The Last Promise eventually ended up in the world of the Dark Amulet. He's the same guy, just with a shield. Hero and Slayer classes are pretty much the same Lamel. Boris, this guy really surprised me in my playthrough. He managed to cap speed despite a 50% growth. Not bad. I don't know if that's going to be enough for me to bother with him, but, you know. But, like, he does seem, like, decent. All things considered. Oh, excuse me. Steel Lance and Steel Sword. If only I had an unlock staff, I could do some funny stuff here. Ba-ba-ba. Grape, I'll have you bait some of these guys out. So, Saya, you need to go this way. Bobby, Simon, you need a tome before you can do anything. Emmy. Alright. Speed and defense. We'll take it. And Sagan, you can knock this thief out. Lightning obtained. That's nice. Who else needs the EXP from those mages? I mean, Rick, I would like you to... RL, I think you may need to, start getting some keys out. Because we are in need of them. Oops. Misclicked the button there. Take this. And then take out lightning. And a door key. And not an extra vulnerary. And then Simon, you can go up with Rick here. And Rick can get the door open and blockade for us. Obviously they're not meant to be the same guy, but come on, red-haired guy named Phoenix with very similar animations serving the main villain. Yeah, I mean, the Slayer class, that was a weird thing with Last Promise, was like how it had these classes that were technically unique, but like they really did not need to be. Gonna head out later, man. Okay, see you later, Matt. Oh, never mind, you didn't even quite cap speed. He hit 2830 speed. Looking at the final video I did on the hack. Okay. I don't know. I don't really see much use for him, to be honest, but who knows? Maybe that will change. Maybe I'll change my mind at some point. I think that the team I've got is doing well enough that I don't really need a merm. Okay. I mean, at this point, the map is kind of just... We're kind of just still in cleanup mode, so... Basically just delete the rest of the units that we need to delete. Sagan, you don't need that. Restore staff, that is helpful, but not going to be especially useful to us. Okay. Okay, so grape you need. Thunder, fire, thunder. Yeah, grape, you're not taking all those hits at once, so we're gonna move you here. Frummy, you heal up Gim. Or so you get out of the way so that Helga can heal up Grape. Bless you. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have had Sergei go up and bonk the knight. Oh well. Ooh, that's a nice level up, Rick. I had my doubts, but I think he's going to end up being a member of the final squad. Saya, you get in position. You dance from me. Omelette du from me, as I like to say. Reaper Knight comes to mind. Bless you times two. Gallagher's crit animations were incredibly cool, though. I mean, Gallagher is the only one that I felt like, you know, really was... He actually felt like he earned, like, a unique class, but yeah, Reaper Knight was kind of just, like, Paladin with like, a edgy animation, which... Edgy crit animation, which admittedly did look pretty cool. But, like, I don't know. Last Promise is a very silly game, but, you know, it has its moments. Level 11, he gets strength. He does get strength. And skill and speed, which, you know, good for him. Why? Why is this happening? Stay away from me! Nice silent staff there, jackass. Alright. And Rick. Yep. And here come the shamans. As if this map wasn't dragged out enough already. Robbie, clean up. You have enough res that you take no damage from these guys. Simon will... Okay, I guess we won't give you this kill, but... Okay, you can also just crit. Gotta love it when that happens. It's like... Doesn't get a kill, but, you know... Then he crits, and he gets the kill, so... You made yourself look like a fuel. Sergei... I think, Sergei, actually, I want you over here. Just to see if you can bum a kill off this Slender Mage. He probably will go for you, since you'll actually take damage from his attacks. And then end turn. Oh, whoops, I forgot. Still have a chest to open. Alright, Sergei. What you gonna get? Magic, speed, luck, and defense. Okay. You know what, Sergei? I may actually be promoting you to proper team member, because you are actually doing decently. Simon, on the other hand, is doing 2 damage to these shamans, despite having weapon triangle over them. Oh, excuse me. Right. That was not a hit I wanted to take. Oh well. Okay, this actually got a little... to be a little bit of a nuisance. Let me get up front. Bring out Lance Reaver. I really wish I was in range to heal those guys. Oh well. chest. Hammern! Oh, wow. Really early Hammern. And that's actually kind of a surprise to me, but it is welcome. It is welcome. Wow. Nice 1 damage. Alright, you have a little bit more hit rate, but that didn't exactly allow you to get a hit. One of the only things I know about TLP is that it yoinked a name from Valkyrie Profile for Keelik's legendary PRF. Back then, TLP is a serious hack. Nowadays, it's comedy. I mean, it's like it's bad fan fiction, and like it's definitely showed its age. But like, I still think it has. I still think like in terms of, you know, like a first hack to get you into like the Fire Emblem romhack scene, it could be like it could still be, you know, an interesting jumping in point. It's either that or I would say Justice and Pride is probably a good place to get started with Fire Emblem romhacks. I like edgy stuff. It's fun in its own way. But then again, I've also done that for my hack, though I chose a different name. Keelik transcends TLK. He truly became a legend. Missed opportunity to have a proto class named Edgelord, though. Why does Mel be TLK, the last Keelik? Yeah. Lots of silliness. Yeah. Last Promise is silly, but, you know, I still have a lot of affection for it. Honestly, I may actually enjoy playing it more than something like Dark Lord and the Maiden of Light, even though that game is technically better. HP and defense. We're so close to the end. Alright, Emmy, I don't feel like thinking about who else to give that kill to. So you're going to benefit from that. Alright. Now, this boss is probably going to be a bit of a joke, because he's going to get ganged up all at once by a million different units. All at once. Oops. Now, Sagan. I'm gonna put you here, and hope you don't crit. And then on the next turn I will decide whomst gets the level up. Because I'm actually not sure myself who's going to do that. If I ended up making a ROM hack, I'm definitely making the Lord promo name Edgelord and make his PRF something, some super edgy sword name something like Flaying Wind. It's definitely still the one ROM hack I recommend first to anyone new to Fire Emblem ROM hacks. I mean, it was literally made by a 14-year-old, way better than most people at that age. Blazer be like, drops legendary hack, doesn't elaborate, then leaves. Yeah, he kind of... Like, I don't even know, like, if Blazer's even doing anything these days, but, you know. Sometimes all you need is just the one to make an impression. And he certainly did make an impression, for better or for ill. But I think mostly for better. Like, I still like Last Promise in some respects, even if it's, you know, aged poorly. Let's see. Sergey, I would like you to get the kill, but I don't think we're going to have the capacity to wear these boss down. My god, everyone's doubling this dipshit. What is this? 8 con, 10 weight, and 7 speed. Oh, I guess it's not that much of a surprise then. Like, literally think only Sergey doesn't double him at this point. which is unfortunate because he's who I would most like to get the kill with. Saya with Iron Sword? Okay, that's enough of a weaken down. And then Sergei can come in. 5. He needs to hit 255%. Nope. That did not work. So who's the next most eligible target for the EXP? I guess we can give it to Emmy here. Oop. One miss. Nice. Gah, too strong. You, Namekian, too strong. Explain. Strength, skill, and speed. All the offensive stats. We like to see that. Blazer might not even be alive anymore. He's off the face of the planet. Last I've heard of him was when he was making a custom animation for Keelik in Sacred War, I think. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. I know that he's partially responsible for certain spell animations that got used in The Last Promise and ended up on the repo. So I've used the Earthquake spell animation for a couple projects of mine. Alright. Okay, we got all the chests, we've cleared all the enemies out. So I guess the only thing left really to do is just get some last minute healing in. Alright. And then... Looks like we are all set. So, Saya, seize the map, and let's get out of here. Control of the inside of the fort has been completed. That is the most awkward sentence I've ever seen. The remaining soldiers are also surrendering one by one.
It was an agonizing battle, but we did it.
This also means that we've taken down 2 of Byrne's strongholds. I'm sure the enemy won't remain silent.
How much time do we have left?
That's hard to say. So far, we haven't received any information that the army has begun to move. But we must rescue Master Lin as soon as possible and retreat to Bulgar. We must be especially careful of the movements of a man named Loki.
Loki?
If we're going to fight Byrne, Lady Saya, you should know about this man. Loki, the Shadow Dragon General. He's a man of great political power and rumored to move the dark side of Byrne. Although ostensibly a subordinate of General Murdoch, he is said to have privileged power, such as having his own order of knights.
Sounds like a nasty one. Are you saying he's in Sakai?
I received information that he was assigned to Fort Berg, a stronghold of the Byrne's army in Sakai. Fun fact, Berg is, I think, German for castle, so that castle's name is literally just Fort Castle. Also, it seems that the unit he's leading, the Black Dragon unit, is quite dangerous. What's more, it's said that this unit is made up of violent soldiers and criminals, and that their strength is comparable to Byrne's elite.
The Black Dragon unit.
With what we have now, we're probably not going to stand a chance. If they show up, we shouldn't even think about fighting them. We should just focus on running away.
In any case, we must act quickly. Once we've replenished our supplies, let's move on. We're almost at the temple.
Alright, proceed to the Gaiden map. I know what Gaiden chapter this is going to be, and I am looking forward to it. All of your base are belong to us. Yep. Very much true. Alright, we're going to proceed to the Gaiden map, but we're not going to tackle it right now, because I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours at this point, and I was already a little tired when I started this, and I'm very tired now. So, thank you all for coming along with me on this little journey through my continuing travels through Sword of Heaven and Earth. This is, like, those 2 maps were actually not that bad. Like, they were, I mean, there were parts of them that were a little annoying, like trying to get that one Wyvern Lord boss to a position where I could steal from him. But no, those 2 maps were actually pretty decent. They went on a little long, but, you know, we're reaching the point where the maps are going to start taking longer and longer, and It's doubtful I'm going to be able to get through 2 chapters every time. But yeah, the next map is a Gaiden chapter, and I'm looking forward to this one, because it's a map where we're going to end up getting a certain character who I am looking very, very forward to. Good stream, I forgot how funny some lines are. Yeah. Sword of Heaven and Earth script is the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you, Google Translate. But anyways, I'm tired. I need to eat dinner. So, thank you all for joining me. I will see you next week for Chapter 8X, where we see the return of everyone's favorite meme character from the Alib continent. So, I will see you guys next time for... Oh, and I guess I'll also see you guys tomorrow for more Hagen White, if you guys are compelled to do that. See you next time, Armory. See you next time, everyone.